Hey, it's Beverly with the Intuitive Interior. It is time for your November I Ching forecast. So remember, in Chinese metaphysics, the calendar goes more on a lunar cycle. So this one doesn't just go from the November 1st through the 30th. It actually goes from November the 7th through December the 6th. Those are the same dates as what they call the Fire Pig month. If you want to know more about that, subscribe to my newsletter. I'll have a little end page at the end of this to show you how to do that. So back to the forecast. Oh, wow. Significantly different month this month than the past 3 months. The last 3 months were all about waiting and being patient and going inside and, looking at your, the community that you're part of. This all got blown out the window. This time, the first card is splitting apart. Yeah, it is kind of what you think it might mean. You've got this imagery of rocks and grasses and feathers and things, and the words that are associated with this are impermanence, collapse, deterioration, separation, let go, surrender, eliminate the old, and death. Awesome, you think. But here's the deal. Splitting apart means looking at what has worked for you in the past and what hasn't, and then being willing to let go of it. The best example to give on this is expiration dates. Yes, there's those manufacturers expiration date, and usually you have a couple of months, sometimes even years past that actual date. But think of life right now as that carton of milk that's been sitting in your refrigerator. If it's like a day or two past that, you're like, oh yeah, I can take a chance. I'll still take it, put this on my cereal, it should be okay. But if it's a month past the expiration date, what do? You toss it. You throw it away, you get rid of it, you replace it with something new. This card is showing up right now as I fling it all over. This card is showing up now for all of us to take a look at what in our life, what in our lives, what in our circles, what in our friends, what in our thought processes, our belief systems, what is past its expiration date. And then giving us the opportunity and the invitation to be as dispassionate as we would be about that carton of milk that it's not for us anymore. It doesn't work for us anymore. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's your your wardrobe. I'm wearing a different color than I usually do. And just why not try things out? But then it's like, yeah, maybe not. This card also really, really stresses the importance of understanding that in order to feel all of the good in life, all of the joy, all of the pleasure, all of the ecstasy, you have to understand that's part of a continuum. Okay? You want to have, if you want to feel the highs, you got to understand that they come with the lows. And so like right now, we're still waiting for the results of the election here in the US. Maybe your candidate won. Maybe your candidate didn't win. Maybe, some of the ballot measures are like, oh, I can't believe people are going to do that. Whatever. The reality is your attitude now about that needs to shift from being combative to one of, okay, this is where we are. This is my opportunity to be mature and let go of that old way of doing things and embrace what is. The next card that came up, Youthful Folly. Oh my goodness. Again, I wish I could be so clever as to just, do these things and make it all fit but this is all what showed up. Youthful folly, impulsiveness, immaturity, bluffing, ignorance, learning, impatience, and reckless behavior. This card showing up means that, sure, we can throw a temper tantrum over the fact that things didn't go our way. That person got the promotion and we didn't. You know, this person over here, they won the lottery and we didn't. Or I wanted that parking spot. How come you get that parking? I deserve that parking spot. You know, again, that's an immature way of looking at it. When you look at life and ask, well, how is this for me? Instead of what is it doing to me? The whole world changes. You begin to get a whole new level of emotional maturity, and you can handle anything that comes your way and maintain your balance. So remember how I was talking about that, you know, we can't accept the lows or if we can't accept the highs if we don't also acknowledge that there are going to be some lows. This is about not letting yourself get too high and not letting yourself get too low. Finding that nice balance. Super important this month through December 6th. The other card I picked from the I Ching here is difficulty in the beginning. I can't, seriously. So again, after all of these months of being on ice, you know, feeling like you're backed up against other people, and now suddenly you're getting, there's movement, the beginning of movement. You know, this creaky change is actually moving forward. So you again are at choice to make this as difficult as possible or as easy as possible. The words associated with this are growing pains, doubts and fears, awkwardness, becoming stronger, vulnerability, and inexperience. Brene Brown is one of my favorite authors, and she does a lot of work around shame and vulnerability. And if you haven't ever listened to anything that she, you know, or read anything or listened to any of her podcasts, I highly recommend that you start with her book that just had its 10-year anniversary, The Gifts of Imperfection. And it talks a lot about, you know, the strength of being vulnerable, and how when you're vulnerable, that is really the only time that true transformation and true growth can happen. This card again talks about the challenge of feeling like you're about to be overwhelmed at any time, because it's got the thunder symbol under the water symbol, and thunder, of course, is that rapid that shock, and you know, the water, of course, is your emotions, and so you can get very overwhelmed with your emotions if you again don't maintain your balance while things are cleaving off that don't work for you. So I'll put in the show notes here what the specific focus line is. But for the most part, it really is about taking stock. So last month you took stock in what is mine? Am I in the right camp, so to speak, the right mindset? What is important to me? And now is taking all those lessons and putting them into action, actually walking your talk. And just because I like to add one extra little card, I grabbed a card from my Sacred Rebels book. Never drawn this before. Shock of the new. There's some new stuff happening, guys. There's a new change of attitude. For some of us, the new direction of this reality will be painful. Others will have been practicing what it's like to go with the flow, or to know how to stand your ground and move with the current without getting swept away by it. That level of flexibility is something that we can learn from nature. You look at the trees during a storm. They're designed to bend and to move, but they're still very firmly rooted. So anyway, that is what we get to look forward to for the next several weeks, 4 weeks. So from November 7th through December the 6th, hang tight. Lots of beautiful, beautiful changes coming. Look for the beauty in the unexpected, and you'll be a much happier person. Thanks again. This is Beverly with the Intuitive Interior. Have a great month.